Did you know that the average annual salary of an NBA player exceeds $6 million? Also, did you know that the average salary of a U.S. soldier is under $100,000 every year? As you can see, the pay of a U.S. soldier pales in comparison to the pay of a professional athlete. In this speech, I'd like to cover the average salaries of professional athletes and why it's a problem, why they should be paid less, how the world would be like if they were paid less, and what we can do to make it happen. Yes, I know, professional sports are one of the biggest sources of entertainment in the world. But should athletes really be getting paid millions of dollars every year? As covered earlier, according to BusinessInsider.com's article by Corey Gaines, the average NBA player is paid around $6.5 million every year. And with the NBA salary cap increasing in the coming years, the average can only go higher. This was made true when Mike Conley, the average mediocre point guard for the Memphis Grizzlies, signed a 5-year, $153 million contract. As big as this contract seems, players like Steph Curry and Chris Paul are expected to sign north of $200 million contracts in the coming summers. Although the average NBA player's salary is the highest of any sport, no sport pays their players more than the NFL does. NFL teams as a whole pay a total of $4.1 billion to their players every year. According to the article from ftw.usatoday.com's by Nick Schwartz, the probability of living out your dream is smaller than you might think. As a high school athlete, you have less than 1% chance of becoming a pro in any of these 5 sports. I understand professional athletes deserve to be paid, but I don't understand why they're paid millions of dollars. Take the average NBA player, for example. Making the salary of $6.5 million, basketball is their job, correct? Assuming these players work an average of 8 hours a day for 365 days, this means they will make an astounding $2,226 every hour they work. This is nearly the amount a minimum wage worker makes in a month. That isn't considering the professional athlete sponsors and the money they get from those. As you can see, professional athletes make absurd amount of money. While professional sports leagues continue to increase the salaries of these players, the average U.S. soldier barely makes enough to have a living wage. According to work.cron.com's article, the average salary of a U.S. soldier by Aurelio Loxin, as of 2010, the average U.S. soldier makes approximately $99,000 a year, with most of this money coming from food and housing. Another crazy fact, according to Forbes.com's article, the average family practitioner makes approximately $189,000 a year, which is also pocket change compared to professional athletes. Perhaps the saddest fact of all, the average high school teacher, according to money.usnews.com's article, high school teacher salary details, they make approximately $57,200 a year. People such as soldiers defending our country, doctors treating the sick, and teachers who are teaching our children are plenty deserving of more money. But because of professional athletes and the money they're getting paid, there's not enough money to go around to these people. In today's day and age, kids are seeing professional athletes making so much money, and these kids are making it their sole goal to become a professional athlete. And although good high goals are good for children, it's not good to make it their sole goal. They should work on being a well-rounded person instead. Some athletes are good examples, but some are bad. An example of a bad example for sports is Tiger Woods, once the highest paid athlete in the world, but now his golf game has dwindled and so has his life choices, leading us to have this mugshot of him after he received a DUI while drunk driving. Another example of a crazy good athlete is Johnny Manziel, once considered one of the most talented NFL prospects in the 2014 draft. He let his money get to his head, and he dropped out from the NFL, and now he is doing drugs somewhere in the world. His money sign, as shown in this picture, gave kids a false belief that money is the most important thing in the world. Maybe if these athletes were paid less, then kids would be paid. Kids would make better role models and actually be the difference this world needs. As much as I love sports such as football, basketball, and baseball, and as much as it's awesome watching these athletes show off their extreme skills, they're still extremely overpaid. The salaries these athletes make every year are absurd, and people that defend our country, treat our sick, and teach our children are missing out on this money. If professional athletes were paid less, maybe the generations to come will find better role models and be the difference this world needs. The call to action consists of 2 parts. As the young people of this generation, we need to choose our idols more wisely instead of choosing idols that are solely basing their lives on money. And second, don't give the rich athletes, such as these 2 players, undeserved attention. Maybe then, when this call to action is met, people who work for the betterment of our country and the children will be paid more sufficiently and live better lives.